Yo, what's good? Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you as always. You know, you're tuning in to Hoops and Brews. It's your boy TPJ. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Real TPJ. That's REEL TPJ. As always on Hoops and Brews, as you just heard the beer being open. We drink beer and we talk about basketball. Today we have the Stone IPA Tangerine Express provided by Pavy, as well as we have the Sculpin IPA provided by Pavy. As always, if you drink and you are under 21, you better not be drinking. Don't do it. It's wrong. If you are over 21, please drink in moderation and please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Call an Uber. Don't do it. It's wrong. You can kill somebody. Don't do it. But today we are joined on Hoops and Brews by a very special guest. So before I intro Pavy Rap Extraordinaire, I'm going to interview our very special guest, the Schmo. Go ahead, talk to the people, let them know what's up.
How you doing, everybody? I'm the Schmo. Follow me at the Schmo312. I love the gram. You should too. Nah. No, anyways, we do a little sports comedy. The Schmo competes with professional athletes, and he interviews them. The Schmo versus the pro, the Schmo and the pro. Love talking hoops, love drinking brews, I guess. We'll crack that open here, boys.
Yes, exactly. And as he said on King Watch, if you don't watch King Watch, make sure you go watch it. He said he is Harry Carey meets Rodney Dangerfield. Is that what you said?
A modern day Harry Carey, but Rodney Dangerfield meets Craig Sager, sports first, comedy second.
Exactly.
And then you be getting fits off.
Yeah.
Jackets you showing me fire. Fire.
Yeah, of course. Very well dressed, Schmo. And as always, the show's co-stars Rap Extraordinaire. Pavy, go ahead, get your plug in.
As always, man, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Pavy World, PAVY World, all one word. Guys, Pavers Volume 1 is actually out right now. Whatever streaming service you want to go get it on, go get it. So check that out. And yeah.
Yeah, man, Pavy dropped a phenomenal EP called Pavers Volume 1, Streets Calling. Make sure you go check that out. Nothing but hits on hits on hits. If you listen to Hoops and Brews and you don't listen to Pavy, what is wrong with you, bro?
Yeah, like, why would
what
you
is
do
wrong
that?
with you?
Like you
at least go, even if you don't like it, just at least go hit play once. And trust me, you will like it. Go listen to Call the Wave. I'll help work on that. So now it's not just Pavy telling you to go listen to his music. I'm telling you that shit too. Go listen to it. It's on Apple Music, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever you can find music. It's there. Go check it out. But let's get ready to hop into it. Obviously, guys, dog days of the summer. We have been. It is well. Actually, no. Actually, it's not dog days of the summer. The summer is over officially. It's fall time. So now we are in the middle or beginning fall. NBA preseason is set to begin within a week. Training camps are set to begin sometime this week. Preseason is going to come around the 22nd, 23rd. That's when it starts. We get 2 preseason Lakers versus Warrior games this this preseason. So we are going to continue because we're not just like your bullshit sports show that you watch that talks about the same topics every single week. We actually watch more basketball. As you can see right here, hoodies are behind me. Go get you one. Go get you a Zotime. Make sure you check out Zotime Podcast, which comes immediately after King Watch on Dash Radios. Also, listen to us every Tuesday night, Brews Day night on Dash Radio. We have a lineup of Hoops and Brews, King Watch, Zotime, and hopefully we might be adding more shows too soon in the future. But yeah, now we are rounding out the off season. Next week the graphics will change. It will then say preseason. So we have 2 last divisions left. The 2 obviously the most hyped divisions in the NBA. We have the Atlantic Division, which features which features Boston, the Raptors, the Knicks, the Sixers, and then we have the Pacific Division, which is what we're going to start with. That features the Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, Kings, and Suns. So obviously the Warriors are the champs. Big boys on the block. Let's go ahead and let's talk Warriors basketball. What do you think? What's the ceiling? Number one, of course, we know the ceiling for the Warriors is a championship. So I don't even necessarily want to spend this next 5-10 minutes talking about if they're going to win the championship, because everybody obviously assumes that they're going to win a championship. I want to talk about what can go wrong for the Warriors this season that will result in them not winning the championship.
I tell you a lot.
So for our preseason preview, let's talk about what will go wrong for the Warriors. Why will they might not possibly win the championship if it's so much set in stone? Okay, go ahead. Actually, let's let Schmo go first. Guess, go ahead. Schmo,
I appreciate that.
Let's go ahead.
TPJ, great introduction. Let's get to it. Obviously injured. Take off the snake of the head. I think the one guy that team cannot afford to lose, Steph Curry.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Steph Curry for sure. Steph Curry's the head of the snake. He makes that team go, drives the tempo, not only with his shooting ability, the passing ability, the glue, keeping it all together. I know they say Draymond Green is the glue guy, but Steph Curry's offense and what he's able to do on the court in terms of spacing is everything for Golden State's offense. They're obviously the best team in the league. Barring injury, they're the favorites. So The thing that goes wrong is Steph Curry. Yes, he's got injury with those ankles, but he also has a history of returning in the big moments and performing in the playoffs. So that's all I got to say about Golden State.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. If you had one X factor for this year beyond Steph Curry and Kevin Durant for this team that can kind of break through or potentially challenge one of those two this year for being a star, obviously you have Boogie there, you have Clay, you have Draymond. Who other than those guys to you can take that next step in order for them to even make it to the point where where if Steph Curry gets hurt, you still know you're going to win a championship?
Well, there's a lot of different things. With Boogie, though, can I do say this?
Yes,
You brought him up. I think it's very important to say, I don't know if he's going to play the first half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Achilles injury. What's the history of a big man recovering great from an Achilles injury? I can only think of one. Elton Brand, and he was never the same.
He didn't really recover.
That's the point. He didn't really cover. So I don't know
He was
if I
also
can.
not really a big man. He was really like 6'7", 6'8". He wasn't really like Boogie. Boogie's a big. Excuse my language. Boogie's a big.
I'll say this, though. The one guy, then, who I think is a big X factor on defense for them, who really needs to step up and has been stepping up and called to the challenge every year, Draymond Green's going to get suspended for all the text, potentially, or for tripping or kicking someone in the nuts. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But he'll be out of the game, and you can't rely on Boogie. This guy entering what? His third season now or second season?
Jordan Bell?
Jordan Bell, baby,
year.
from Oregon. Second year. The Schmo interviewed him 2 seasons ago at preseason.
Okay, and what did he say in that interview? What was he like back then?
He didn't realize that the Bulls drafted him and sold him for $3.5. The Schmo exposed it. That's how he learned. That's why he did the money change over there in Chicago.
Really?
He knew the Bulls. Schmo broke that news. Go
Really?
check it out.
You
Go to the
that?
Schmo and the Pro, Jordan Bell, WGN. Google it if you haven't. Schmo interviewed him. He's eating chicken fingers and fries. I caught him in the line right there. It's a true story. It's legendary.
I
the Schmo told him.
That's
He broke
legendary.
that news.
And he was, how was he? Was he devastated or?
He didn't even know.
I mean,
Second round pick, the guy was a defensive force.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm trying to make with Jordan Bell, is his defense. And especially if like the Lakers, everyone expects them to be this defensive force to challenge Golden State right there in the division. We'll talk about them, I imagine.
Next,
Lakers.
actually. Yeah, next.
So Jordan Bell's defensive progression and then learning skill sets on offense, progressing there, is so key for this team for them to get it again, that championship.
So go ahead, Pavy. Talk to us. What are your thoughts on the Warriors? Obviously, you are the Warriors hater number one. This man has a painting of LeBron James blocking the Andre Iguodala shot in his bedroom.
Okay. Couple
Bear
things.
down. Iguodala.
Couple things. One, Boogie with the Warriors. I don't think Boogie with the Warriors is going to work like most people think Boogie with the Warriors is going to work. For one, he tore his Achilles.
Agreed.
Like, I don't think people realize he tore.
Worst
his
injury.
Achilles. The word as a bat, your leg can come out of your body. I'd rather that than tear my Achilles. He's also 300 pounds.
Kevin Ware.
Also, Boogie already wasn't the best defender, right? So I think that after the Achilles injury, you have to expect he's going to be a worse defender, right? So the one thing I worry about is the switch between Steph and Boogie. Even when I play 2K, what do I do to beat the Warriors every time? I always make sure I put Steph and Boogie in the switch. It's all good. I've been saying all summer, it's all good until Boogie got a switch. It's all good until he got a switch. Also, again, with Boogie, obviously he's going for a contract. He's not going to be there next year, most likely. He's going for a contract. In order to get the contract, you got to play good. Some games, I don't know if Boogie going to be able to get more than 12 shots. I don't know if he going to get 10 shots some games. Also, Steph always does have, his ankles injury. Steph is always one little tweak away from being out for 3 weeks. Because, again, I think with the Warriors, I actually don't think they'll win the conference. I think they'll end up finishing second, but it's not because they aren't good enough. It's because that for any Knicks are going to sit people down for a lot of time. Like, if Steph rolls his ankle, you out for 3 weeks. If Clay, you roll your ankle, you out for 3 weeks. KD, you get anything, you out for 3 weeks. So, again, I'm with you with Jordan Bell being huge for this team. Reason being is I think that the only thing with Boogie joining is I think defensively you get weaker. Because you have two, quote-unquote, liabilities defensively in your lineup being Steph. Even though, granted, yes, I know Steph was good in the playoffs, but again, you don't play defense as a team. I mean, you don't play defense by yourself. You play defense as a team. So if you have two liabilities, me and Boogie out there now, we can just put Steph and Boogie in a switch. That's gonna hit us some things. But Jordan Bell, I think, is huge because, again, I don't think Jordan Bell is a better player than Boogie is, but I do think he's a much better defender than what Boogie is, especially 8 months off of torn Achilles. So, all that being said, obviously the Warriors are the favorites. I'm not going to sit up here and say they're not the favorites. Obviously they're the favorites, but I do think they can be beaten.